Good morning. I'm Dr. Ken Snyder, the dental director of the St. Vincent de Paul Charity Dental Clinic here in South Phoenix, Arizona, and welcome to another edition of the Happiness Factor. Today, I'm going to start you off with a little quiz. Do you know the longest word in the English language? Think about it for a moment. Time's up. It's actually smiles, because you see, there's a mile between each S. So now that we've established that without a doubt, the longest word in the English language is smiles, today I want to share with you a few things I've learned about the importance of a smile, and not just from the perspective of sitting at the dental chair across from patients. Let's start by sharing a little warm-up activity. I have what I call the Snyder scale of smiles, where a number 1, it goes from 1 to 10. A number 1 is kind of like an obligatory, like, I know you're here, so what? Where 10 is a great big smile, like, wow, I'm glad to see you. Go ahead and give your number 10 smile. Great. Today, I want to talk about the many benefits of smiling, not just for you personally, but how through smiling we can help to make this world a better place for all of us. First of all, there are many physical benefits. Pain relief is one of them. A good smile or a hearty laugh actually relieves some of our body's aches or pains. And I'll get back to that in just a moment. Smiling actually has a calming effect and can lower our blood pressure and our heart rate. Did you know that laughing or smiling helps to boost our body's immune system? Well, it does. A WebMD study showed that laughter, which often starts with a smile, increases the immune cells and infection-fighting antibodies, which improves our resistance to illness and diseases. They did an experiment some time back where they took blood samples from people and they analyzed the number of immunological cells going through their system. Then they showed them some funny movies, cartoons, different things that got them smiling. And they took a second blood sample 10 minutes later, and they found that as much as 52% increase in the number of immunological cells going through the system. Smiling makes you appear younger. A psychology and aging study showed that when a group looked at photos of happy faces, they guessed the age of the person in the photo as younger compared to photos of the same person with a neutral or angry expression. Okay, I mentioned I'd get back to why we feel less pain when we smile or laugh. When you smile or laugh, the brain actually releases tiny molecules called neuropeptides to help fight off stress and diseases. There are actually 36 different chemicals released from the brainstem. Serotonin, which is an antidepressant, is one of them. It's known as the happy hormone. Some years ago, I was driving down Central Avenue in Phoenix, which is one of the main north-south arteries. And we were stopped at a red light. And I always like to look at people at red lights because it's amazing. Most people are like almost like they're trying to will the light to change. Others, you can just sense the stress that they're already anticipating for the day's activities. Once in a while, you'll see someone who's kind of grooving to the music in their car. But at this particular red light, there were, it's 3 lanes each direction. And there was a little lady in a blue Ford, little old lady in the curbside. And there were 3 cars in the row, and I was actually in the middle car in the second row. And there was a young boy, looked to be like maybe high school, early college, who got out of his car. And he must have been watching the little lady come down Central as well. And so he had a bouquet of flowers, and he took one of the flowers, and he walked around the car next to him, which was right in front of me. And he went over and in a non-threatening way told the lady, roll down your window, and he gave her the flower. And I looked at all the people and wow, I mean, just the smile on their face, and you could almost feel the serotonin spilling over into their cars. And people were honking, but not like, come on, let's go, but like, wow, this is neat. So anyway, we continued on. And of course, when I got to the clinic, the first thing I did was I told all the staff about it. And I'm sure that their serotonin levels were increased. And throughout the day, I told most of the patients that if I had an opportunity, I told them about the incident. And again, it created a release of serotonin in them. You see, you don't actually have to be there and see the event yourself. Just hearing about it actually puts us in a good mood. When I got home that night, I told my wife and the children, and again, they all experienced a smile on their face and serotonin. So you can see what a powerful pain reliever just smiling or seeing joyful activities and sharing them can be. Another chemical that's released from the brainstem are the endorphins, and these are the body's natural painkillers. There was a fellow, Norman Cousins, who I had the pleasure of meeting years ago, and he's passed now, but he was the editor of the Saturday Review, and he wrote a book called Anatomy of an Illness. And he had an illness, a very life-threatening, painful illness called ankylosing spondylitis. And what he did was he checked into the hospital, as most people would, and he was being treated by his doctor. And but he noticed he was actually feeling worse and kind of getting depressed. And so he did what most people would not do. He checked out of the hospital and into a hotel room, a much more pleasant environment in those days. And he continued to follow doctor's orders, but he started to watch humorous videos like the Marx Brothers, candid camera reruns, the Honeymooners. People would send him cartoons and jokes. And he noticed that 10 minutes of good-hearted belly laughing or smiling actually provided him with over 2 hours of pain-free sleep. Another chemicals released when we smile or laugh is called dopamine, and this is actually an antidepressant, and it's known as the feel-good hormone. So we can see how we get an improved mood when we laugh or smile, and also it's a stress reliever. That's right. Smiling or laughing actually activates and relieves your stress response. Studies where individuals had to face stressful situations while smiling were found to have lower heart rates and blood pressures compared to those who weren't smiling. The simple act of smiling actually has emotional benefits. I want you to play along with me here for a second. I want you to raise your hands in a triumph, like you just won the lottery, you just saw your best friend, great news. And with that in mind, and a big smile on your face, I want you to repeat these words after me. I am depressed. That probably felt weird, and it should have, because you see, we were sending mixed messages to our brain. And the positive message overrides the negative every single time. It's impossible to be angry, afraid, and depressed and smile or laugh at the same time. Smiling also leads to better relationships. A study completed by the U.S. National Library of Medicine found that people who smile are usually identified as being more likable compared to those who don't smile. Universal symbol of acceptance. That's what smiling is. It's the same in every language, and it means I accept you. I enjoy you. I want you to remember this. Every encounter is a holy encounter, and I believe that with all my heart. God puts you right where he wants you to be at that moment with those people. Why waste it with a frown or even being neutral? Give them your number 10 smile. Remember this, a smiling face is a beautiful face. A smiling heart is a beautiful heart. Here's my challenge. When you get home tonight, I want you to look in the mirror and give yourself a big smile. First thing tomorrow morning, look in the mirror, give yourself a big smile, a number 10, and then share that same smile with everyone you come in contact to throughout the day. Whether it be friends, neighbors, coworkers, your family, whatever, give them that number 10 smile. Be the reason why someone smiles today and every day. Now, if you would like to join us in our mission here at St. Vincent de Paul, you can check out the website for the donation page there on the screen. You can signify dental clinic, or there's many other wonderful things that we do at St. Vincent de Paul. Be sure to mention that you saw us on the Happiness Factor. And as always, be true to your teeth, and they won't be false to you. Until next time, ciao.